This week, we're joined by Elijah Ramsey, winner of the Eviction 2024 and the rising star in the UK property scene.
What happened to me in the Eviction was I actually reverted to Islam. I would not change how the Eviction went, because if I didn't have those struggles in the beginning, I wouldn't have opened up and built that faith with God. I just like to network with people, and I feel like a lot of people can trust how I am. It was an off-market deal, and this agent, I built a relationship already. So definitely social media plays a big role in this.
Elijah's gone from a broke architect graduate to financially free deal sourcer, raking in profit from rent-to-rents, buy-to-lets, and joint venture flips.
Just before going on the Eviction, I got made redundant. I had to refund a lot of stuff just to make a living. I have recently just purchased a short lease extension property. I bought it for 197,500. It has a lease of 42 years. Extension is 30,000 and the GDV is 325.
He's closed multiple property deals, raised investor finance, and even secured off-market London property developments, all whilst building a powerful personal brand. Enjoy and be sure to subscribe for future property success stories.
It was on at 54,000. Samuel Leeds Islamic Finance bought it and sold it to me for 69,000. And then the actual market price is 85,000. Helping give value, helping the Samuel Leeds community while building my brand.
So when you were spending so much time with Samuel, what are the 3 social media tips that you were able to acquire? Hello and welcome to the Samuel Leeds Success Stories. I'm your host, Patricia Masuda, and today I'm so excited to be sitting with my good friend, Elijah Ramsey.
Yes.
Welcome, Elijah.
Thank you very much.
If anybody has been under a rock in the last 12 months, Elijah has been all over the place, and he is, a spoiler alert, the winner of the 2024 Eviction. So welcome, Elijah. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for inviting me, Patricia.
So why don't we start off with sort of what you were doing before you came to a crash course with Samuel Leeds? Tell me what that was like.
So at the time, I went to uni. I studied architecture degree, and I wasn't born the smartest in school, but I always had that desire and discipline, which was like disciplined and drilled down from my father. And in school, like there's a few exams I used to carry out, and I wouldn't entirely do the greatest, but I would like to prove people wrong and teachers wrong. So I ended up getting good grades from school. And in that time, I'm in an environment where I thought to make it, I lived in Southeast London, and I thought to make it out the hood, you need to have a solid education, you need to have good grades, and then you go to uni and you could be like rich, right? And all the teachers, they advised me and guided me to go and carry out an architecture degree, and they told me to apply for Cambridge and all the Tart Russell groups. So I actually carried out the interview in Cambridge, and I got accepted.
Stop it. Did you really? You got accepted to Cambridge?
Yeah, so I got accepted on that interview, and I actually rejected it.
Why did you reject it?
Because I got accepted from Cambridge and UCL. And UCL was in London. Cambridge was a foreign environment to me. I just felt like I wouldn't be able to fit in. I always had in the back of my mind, like, I would get judged. And education, I always felt like I wanted to do something in the business world involving social media, fitness at the time, because I was passionate with fitness side. So I always had that like entrepreneurial spirit. And I thought Cambridge was just, keep me in a bubble where I'm antisocial. I had that fear of being antisocial. So I went through UCL, and I realized that architecture degree was literally more like architecture. Like it was literally in the first 3 months, and it was a struggle. It was intense. Like I wasn't getting any sleep. I was going to uni like from Monday to Sunday as well. Wasn't getting any breaks. And I just thought to myself, like, I basically want to drop out. I tried to speak to my family. I tried to speak to friends for advice. And they said, look, you've got into a Russell Group uni. You've got good grades. This is like your security. Like, at least get through the year. And architecture is like 3 years, and then you have to do another 3 years. So I started researching, and I came across real estate. And I was like, this is something I want to get into. Like, money wasn't my main goal, but I wanted to do something where I have more free time and I can do the stuff that I love. And through this doing the stuff I love, like that's my passion. And like just being like enslaved and doing architecture is not my passion. So I ended up going through the course, completing it. I had my architecture degree at this point.
Good for you.
And in conjacent with that, I was fitness freak. So I was carrying out a lot of fitness stuff on the side with my twin brother.
I saw you've got a really active Instagram account, Ramsey Twins. And you've got, 11, 12,000 followers, which is great. So you were giving back and giving some tips, I guess. So that's cool. And then, so how did you sort of switch gears into property?
So it was where we was always like, I had the passion in fitness and the passion in the built environment as well. And on the fitness side, we were sponsored by Muscle Mania. At the time during COVID, we was gonna both head up to Las Vegas to compete in a natural bodybuilding physique.
Really?
So we was just keeping up with the fitness media on the Instagram, just building up that page and profile as two twin fitness influencers, in which we've been collaborated with Eddie Abu as well.
I saw it. That's cool.
Yeah. And for the property side, how it came across was through myself, in fact. At the time, when I was like, carrying out that venture with my brother, we did have a few like family disputes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah? Sibling rivalry?
Yeah, a bit of rivalry, and I'm not going to go too much in detail, but we had a few friction, and then that kind of separated that venture together in the fitness media world. And that then led me to explore other options. So in that time, I was searching up a lot of property stuff. How can I make extra money, this and that? And Andrew Tate podcast popped up on my phone. And then there was some guy talking about property and how you can control properties and earn an income, in which this income can slowly replace your 9 to 5. And I literally just stopped my workout and I was just listening, and it was Samuel Leeds. And I just thought to myself, wow, like, this is so interesting. Like, how comes I've never heard or come across something like this before? So then I researched them more. I ended up getting his book. And at the end of the book, it said, look, reach out to me on Instagram and I'll guide you of how to, sign up on the course or how to learn. And I basically told myself, like, let me follow what he's saying and see if this guy is a man of his word and legitimate. So I sent him a DM straight away and he replied. So I was like, all right, that's the first step to being... Everybody's
surprised when he replies, isn't it? Me too. I was surprised.
I don't know. I was so surprised. I was like, it could be his PA. But I was like, all right, cool. He told me, come to the crash course. And let me know how it goes. I still had a friction with my brother at that time. I was actually not living in my family home at that moment.
Where were you living?
Ooh, I was living with, but it was not really a family friend. It was someone I didn't know, but she was very nice. God bless her. But it was a bit hard for me at the time because it was a hard period for myself and for my brother as well, because we were both in a bit like, I don't know if I want to mention too much of that, but yeah, it was like I had to sleep on the street at one time. It got bad. We couldn't be in the same environment. So that's why. So then I went to the crash course with my partner at the time. She was very supportive with me in the situation, and I was broke. Like, I had no money, and I was someone I would never ask my parents. Like, I just felt kind of embarrassed to ask anyone for money or even ask my parents. Like, I always tried to be very independent, and the relationship with me and my brother was like, although I'm older by 1 minute, like there's always a twin that takes like that leadership and like wants to lead by example. And yeah, at that time, that's where our friction lied, where he didn't want to be treated like that younger brother, and vice versa. He wanted to go through his own venture. So I respected that, and we were just through that growing phase. So I went to the crash course with my partner. Energy was brilliant.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was like, Samuel, this guy reminds me of myself. Like, yeah, I loved everything about it, the environment and just that energy. So when it came to the ending part where he was promoting the courses, and I was like, I need to sign up, but I don't have the money. And like, I looked at my partner. I was like, there's no way I'm going to ask her. There's no way I'm going to ask her to lend me some money at the moment, because like at the time she was even paying dates for me. She was paying for the dates, and
Aww.
like, yeah, it's very emasculate as a man. But I just always knew one day I'm going to reach that point where I'm going to give back and, you know, just not have to worry about money. So I then spoke to Ibi, and I told Sammy himself, I said, look, you're going to see me again. I cannot sign up at this moment, but you will see me again in due time. So then I automatically started thinking, how am I going to make money? What am I going to do? What am I good at? I didn't have a job at that time, but I was applying for this building control surveying job through a graduate scheme, and they take ages. Like after, it's ridiculous. I feel sorry for people that go to uni and they get a degree, because even if they have a good degree or first, it's difficult to get a job. You need life experiences. Like, it's like the unis are actually a scam to be saying that you can get a job easily, because I struggled for 6 months to get a flipping job. So I was just thinking, how can I make quick cash? And I realized I'm good at art. So I started doing paintings and selling it for commission to get some quick cash. And I managed.
So you paint as well. You know what? Now that you say that, I remember you showed me, was it Dr. Drew?
Dr. Drew. No, I painted Samuel Leeds.
You painted Samuel Leeds?
Yeah, and his wife.
Okay, that's the one then.
To explain that story, so I got my building control surveying job, and I was so happy. And I just felt like, you know what, things are going to place, because I told myself, if I get this building control surveying job, then I know I'm in steps to do well, join this course and just follow this route. Because my whole plan was to get some income, join the course, and get some stable income so I can like start investing. That was my plan. But when I got that building control surveying job, like I got a tattoo literally, and then this tattoo, it stood for prosperity and protection. And I told myself, it's an Egyptian, I've really indulged into the Egyptian mythology, but I told myself like this is a stamp for me in order for me to go forward with greatness in going into this Samuel Leeds Academy and stuff. So then I then saw a post of Samuel talking about the financial freedom challenges on his Instagram, and he was saying to buy his book and write a comment, basically write a comment and post it, and then like he will choose anyone anyone that has like carried it out to be a participant of the financial freedom. And so I done it. So at that time, I was someone that always was like a giver. There's some people that like to receive. I was always a giver. Like if I'm inspired by someone or I really respect that person, like I'm gonna do something in order to like just out of my kindness.
Yeah.
So I actually done this painting of Samuel and his wife in Uganda because I respect this so much that he built a school in Uganda.
Isn't it amazing?
And yeah, it's just the fact that he's given back, it being Africa as well. So I captured that moment, painted it. And that's when I wanted that to be like, because I originally went to the crash course, I couldn't pay. But when I told him I will come back again and you will see me, I wanted to come back with a bang with this painting just to show my appreciation of, look, thank you for giving me that drive to make money, to be able to go to this course. So that was my reason behind the painting.
Okay.
Although I actually didn't give it to him in person.
No? What happened?
I think he left. Something happened, but I gave it to Ibi to give to him. So he never knew who I was. He received this painting and he didn't know who I was at the time.
Oh, no. All that effort.
I know. So I was like, you know what? Like, it wasn't meant. I didn't want anything from it. It was like, you know, I've done this painting.
Yeah.
It's just showing my appreciation that I'm going to put my all into this.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's how I came. That's how I entered the crash course, signing up on the advanced training, and then the academy.
Great. So you worked really hard and you saved the money to join the academy.
Yeah.
Perfect. You didn't have to ask the girlfriend.
Then I have to ask the girlfriend.
Whew.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So you're in the academy. Let's talk about the eviction.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the eviction. All right. So you get the call, you're announced, or it goes on Monday Night Mastermind.
Yeah.
You're one of the finalists. You pack your bags, you head out, and you get to Willingham House.
Yeah.
What are your first thoughts when you walk in and you see your competition? Because there were a lot of big players there. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, there were big players. Like I didn't know anyone there except for I knew faces. And like you have people like Ruben, like he's already killing it in property with his BRRs. So I knew straight away, like my education. To be fair, before going on the eviction, I had to just really, really learn a lot of stuff. Like I went through the courses again, like twice.
Oh yeah,
and I drilled it in
refreshers.
my head. Yeah, refreshers.
How do you calculate ROI again?
Yeah. So I really had to like prepare myself, but I was very nervous.
Yeah.
Like the candidates were strong.
They're strong.
Very strong.
You were on the chopping block how many times?
3 times.
Oh man.
3 times.
All right. So what was your favorite challenge?
Deal selling challenge.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You smashed that, right?
Yeah, deal selling.
How did you perform in the deal selling challenge?
Yeah, I performed very well. I'm someone I like to I just like to network with people. I like to sell things, but not in a way of selling, like not the typical seller of forcing someone. I like to build relationships, and I feel like a lot of people can trust how I am because I'm just like, from hearing from others, they say I'm down to earth, genuine, in which I always try to keep genuine and just real to the investor. And I'm not like, I want to treat people how I would like to be treated. So if I always put myself in the investor's shoes, like, if I was being sold a terrible deal or if I was being like mistreated in any way, I wouldn't do business with that person.
Have you sold a bad deal by accident? Like you ran the numbers and
I have sold a bad deal by accident.
What was the deal and what did you do?
Yeah, it was a rent to service accommodation deal. It just didn't. Sometimes the deal doesn't turn out to work in the end due to occupancy or other reasons. And so with this person, I actually refunded them back the money, although it wasn't stated in contract to refund them, because in the contract it states like it stated a call-off period that it's a refundable period. But with this investor, I'm here for longevity, and I felt like I really liked this investor. Like my emotions were attached to this person, so I actually gave them back to refund.
That's so important, because reputation is important.
Yeah.
It's a small world.
I know.
And one bad deal can like break your business, right?
Exactly.
Okay, great. So then you're one of the finalists with the beautiful Bex East.
Yeah.
And what were you thinking? Because she was a force, right?
Yeah.
Like she was a strong player. What were your thoughts going into your sit-down meeting with your business plan?
Yeah. Yeah, Bex is so lovely, and she's just such a strong, independent woman. So I just thought, like, damn, honestly, I didn't know I was going to win. Like, that business plan, Bex has already done the business plan before. She has like 4 businesses, she was saying. So I was asking her for advice and tips, like before doing it. And she wasn't really trying to give me all the answers because it's a competition at the end of the day.
Competition.
But I've never done a business plan in my life. So I did indeed have a mentor call with Sue Gray to go through a few things. She told me about stretcher goals, 1 month planning goals, all of the good stuff. And to structure everything out, I did use ChatGPT as well, in which Tony did pick up some American spelling.
Of course, Tony would. Our American.
I know. Russell picked it up, and I did get grilled for using ChatGPT.
Well, honestly, I don't think there's really a reason to apologize for that because AI is taking over. How do you think AI is going to affect your business?
I think he's going to affect it in a good way.
Yeah.
It's just going to enhance it. One of my weaknesses is getting contracts done and organizing things. And you have PAs for that, right? If I can get an AI for a PA to just get all of that stuff in place and in order, that would just help that helped so much with efficiency.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the admin part of the business is definitely challenging because we're all such like A-type personalities. We're good at sales and communication. It's just that all that paperwork that comes along with it. But it's inevitable. We have to learn it, right?
Yeah.
And then once we learn it, you can delegate after that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And then you're the winner. So looking back at the eviction, what would you have done differently if you could redo it?
Oh, what have I done different? You know what? I feel like I'm someone of a believer of everything happens for a reason. And if I started off strong, the biggest thing that what happened to me in the eviction was I actually reverted to Islam.
During the eviction?
And that was, so not during the eviction, straight after the eviction, but
Really?
it was due to what happened in the eviction. And in those beginning challenges, the first 3 challenges, I was like, I was about to get evicted. The first challenge, second challenge, I was on that last straw again. And I remember speaking with yourself, because you was my mentor at the time. And we was on that boat trip, right?
Yeah.
But everyone was all laughing, smiling. And I tried to be happy, but I just couldn't in that moment. And I really wanted to, I don't know if you remember, but I was just not in that right mental state. And I just kept thinking to myself, my reason why in wanting to win. Like literally just before going on the eviction, I got made redundant, fired. They didn't give me a chance or anything. I had to refund a lot of stuff just to make a living. I had to refund the ring that I bought for my fiance now. And I was just thinking I had a lot of reasons why I wanted to, be financially free. Everything stems down to my mum being adopted, not having a family, not owning anything, and my dad having a horrible upbringing. There not being any like generational wealth in the family, and just me wanted to be that first person to become that millionaire and just step out and help everyone out.
Where did your parents grow up?
My mum was born in Sri Lanka, but she got adopted by Australian parents, and my dad was born in. He's Jamaican, but he was born in London. At the time, it was rough. It was bad. So stemming back to the eviction, that night when I spoke to you, and I was in that terrible state, and Samuel said, "Look, if you're in the losing boardroom again, you're out straight away." So that night, I literally called my missus and I explained to her, and she's like, "Look, I'm going to pray for you. You should pray as well." And obviously, I wasn't a believer of God at the time, but I've been to the mosque. Like I wasn't religious. And I actually tried to pray now, and I was praying it in the Islamic way because I've been to the mosque before. I had a few friends that are Muslim, and I prayed and prayed. And then I had a dream that I literally woke up in Samuel's house, mansion, and bearing in mind, I've never been in his house before. I don't even know how it looks like, but literally I woke up in his house and it was literally his house. And everyone was cheering with champagnes.
Come on. I just got goosebumps.
No, Patricia, this is like legit. So I woke up and everyone was cheering that you've won. And it just felt so real with the champagne glass and everything. I then woke up and I realized, wait, I'm in the same William House room. What the hell? On the next challenge. And then I just thought to myself, I literally just had that dream. And I said, look, if I end up winning this, then this ain't a dream. This is something deep. But this is... If I win this, then Allah is definitely real. God is real. Then when I actually won, that's when I thought to myself, look, this is something more. I feel like this was a vision given from Allah, and I've researched it, and they call it righteous dreams. It's given sent to you. And so then from there on, I then reverted, and I'm trying my best to put my faith into Allah because He literally gave me that vision. And that's something I'm not going to lie about. I was not religious before, and I did not think there was such a thing. So that's something that I would not change how the eviction went. Because if I didn't have those struggles in the beginning, I wouldn't have opened up and built that faith with God. And
Wow, powerful. And it's very interesting because your faith really took the forefront during your Financial Freedom Challenge, right? When you learned about the Islamic finance that Samuel offers. So how relieved were you, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe you're almost going to sell that deal. So Elijah, you were talking about your parents, and I'm always curious with the hardworking parents from, immigrant parents like mine. What were some of the things that you were able to gain from your parents that you applied to your businesses?
Definitely discipline for sure. From young, my dad, like he used to train me and my brother and my sister as well. Although my sister hated it. Every morning we used to wake up, we used to have our exercise routine. We used to do martial arts training, splits, and then we used to run to school. So in order for me to, and it wasn't like it was pressured because it was something I enjoyed to do. In order for me to want to get a chocolate bar or something, we had to work for it. So that whole element of working for your reward was something that was like implemented in me. So I was a natural grafter and hustler. I always knew that I have to work and earn for something. When I popped up to Samuel Leeds asking if I can get a financial freedom challenge, like people, you can't get handouts. You have to work for it. Samuel can give you, he can give you the tools, but you have to use them tools and use the energy, graft to actually work and get the results. So that's something I've implemented with working for what you earn. And my mother, she was someone that's been very kind. She's always kind and does the most to like please someone. And I feel like I've really rubbed off from her. I'm more similar to my mum than any other of my siblings, even my brother. And I think low key, I'm her favorite.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, things are good with your brother now, right?
Yeah, things are very good.
Yeah, he's joined the academy.
Yeah.
He's a sweetheart.
And thanks to the academy as well, because honestly, like I was speaking to Tiffany as well, Samuel's sister, about this. The academy has actually brought me and my brother together.
Oh,
since he's
great.
joined up, everyone shows so much love. And yeah, just being in that positive environment, because the academy is not toxic. The 9-to-5 world is toxic. Everyone just wants to, but the academy is just so lovely and positive. It brought me and him together where people are like, oh, I want to see ventures with you and this. And if we wasn't in that environment, it would have been just competition again. Elijah's doing this, and we try to beat him in that. But now we're just working together, but we're accepting it. So yeah, much love for that.
Yeah, that's great. What's been your favorite part about being part of the academy?
My favorite part, just so many favorite parts in the academy. Literally, I love the networking events. I like it. The networking events is where it's at. I love networking, meeting new people. There's just so many great stuff in the academy. You go to academy dinners, you have Samuel would bring like multi-millionaires as guests, which it would cost thousands to literally go and speak to people like that.
Yeah.
Like we went to Dubai and we met up with multi-millionaires again. There's so many, the inner circles. Yeah, it's something like hard to choose.
Well, that's great. So, okay, let's talk about the Financial Freedom Challenge, because I have talked to a lot of people who have done a Financial Freedom Challenge with Samuel.
Yeah.
And they say it's like nothing else, and I can't even imagine. And I am too scared to even do something like that. So how did you prepare to do a Financial Freedom with Samuel Leeds?
You know what? I went through all the content material again. I keep going for the content material. So in preparation, I'm someone where when I get a challenge, I like to do like extra board, like extra preparation. So I try to reach out to agents beforehand, try to speak to a few people for existing deals, this and that, just in case it came to a point where I couldn't sell anything. But Samuel was like, look, Elijah, just chill. Don't need to do none of that. On the day, we'll take it like how it is, and we would just attack it. Yeah. So I took his word for it, and he really knew from myself in Eviction, I'm a hard worker. Yeah. And yeah, so there wasn't really any preparation. It was just straight like on the spot.
Straight into it.
Yeah.
Right into the deep end.
Right into the deep end.
And you could see, this is what I loved about your Financial Freedom Challenges. You could see the development happening right then and there in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
From like your first awkward phone calls to then like being so smooth afterwards, right? You literally absorbed what he was telling you with his little graph, and then you do this and then you do that and you circle back and you can't ask too early. And it's just really amazing because I always say that Samuel didn't invent deal selling, right? Or rent to rent or anything like that. But he's done so much research and has found out the formula of how to do what, when to say what, right?
Mhm.
And that's it. You just, copy and pasted that, which is, I thought it was amazing. It just shows you that it works, right? But
Yeah,
you need that
exactly.
guidance or else we're going to be fumbling around the whole
Yeah.
time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So how did you feel when the first person said yes to you for buying a deal?
I was so excited. I was happy because usually, I was good at selling deals, but it would take it would take a long time and it just wasn't efficient. Samuel, he knew one thing I think you can't teach is someone's drive and hunger. So he knows I had the hunger and drive. So no matter what, I would always be on the phone trying to sell that deal. I wouldn't give up. But he then taught me the skills in closing, pre-closing. He just made it so much quicker. So when the person said yes to it, buying the deal, I was like, wow. He gave me just 3 tips and it's literally just changed. It's changed my financial thermostat, first of all. It was now after the Financial Fusion Challenge, I'm just implementing those techniques. I'm selling deals like there's no tomorrow. So I knew from there on that Samuel is the guy. Well, I really knew he was the guy, but I knew he just words and guidance can just change.
And so for anybody who wants to do a financial freedom with challenge, what kind of advice would you give them to prepare going into it?
I would say prepare to have no sleep. Prepare to have no sleep. There was sleepless nights. I would literally just tell them you take that challenge there's no tomorrow. You have to really put your all into it. Understand that, there's going to be times where you're going to feel really under pressure and at point of a very low point. But you have to, pressure creates diamonds, right?
That's so true.
So you have to put a time frame on things.
You do. And you were just telling me earlier before we started that you perform well under pressure, which I can definitely relate to. I think a lot of people can relate to that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. And then, so after you do the Financial Freedom Challenge, which was a success.
Yes.
What happened with that house in Burnley that you bought?
Yeah, so the house in Burnley it had a few snags that needed to be done, just a repaint, to box up the boiler as well, and a recarpet. That's now been tenanted, which
Let's
is
go
good.
through those numbers again, because it was such a great deal that go ahead.
So it was on at 54,000, in which Samuel Leeds Islamic Finance bought it for that price, 54,000, and sold it to me for 69,000. So, and then the actual market price is 85,000. So I'll be refinancing, pulling equity out, and just having it as a normal buy-to-let AST, which is
amazing.
Good.
Well done. All right. So, and then you went to Uganda, didn't you?
Yes, I went to Uganda.
Were you ever interested in philanthropy before you met Samuel, or is that something new for you?
That's something, and that's something I always wanted to do, which is why, I'm a guy full of manifestation. And when I painted that picture, I literally told myself, that painting, as much as it was a gift to Samuel, it was like a note to myself, I'm gonna see the school one day, and I'm going to be in that environment and do the same thing what Samuel's done, but give back in whatever form. So when I found out he was going to Uganda, I needed to go, because I wanted to give back to charity. So the money I made, which I'm always going to do, I'm always going to give back to the vulnerable and help others. I'm not this is why I want to become at a stage where I have plentiful of money, so I can just have open hands to give to those that deserve and that aren't in my fortunate position.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Uganda straight away and donated there. And I'm looking to go to Uganda again, or was it Zimbabwe? Whichever. I'm looking to go again with Samuel.
Amazing. That's great. And then you flew to Dubai, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you went from philanthropy to hobnobbing with some of the richest
Yeah.
people. What a change. You called me too
Yeah.
when you were on your way to the airport.
Yeah.
And I was just leaving Glasgow from an inner circle. That was great. So you
Oh,
went with your
brilliant.
brother and
Yeah, I
Kane,
went
I
and Jane
think.
as well, yeah.
That's great. What was Dubai like? Did you get to meet Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate?
I actually didn't get to meet Andrew Tate, Tristan
No?
Tate. But prior, Samuel Leeds had a podcast with Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
And he actually mentioned me.
I saw.
Yeah, he actually mentioned me.
That's
It
great.
it was one of those ones. Like, this is why I know Samuel was a man of his word, because on that Financial Freedom Challenge, I did mention to Samuel that I came across Samuel through Andrew Tate.
And isn't
from
that funny? So I
Yeah.
came to Andrew Tate through Samuel, and it's just because I'm Samuel's audience and
Yeah.
you're Andrew Tate's audience, and that's how we discovered
Yeah.
each other's mentors, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
exactly.
that funny? Yeah.
And then I told Samuel about it, and Samuel was like, "Look, man, we was talking about boxing. Like, I was saying to Samuel, look, when you next see him, because you've lost weight now, spar him. That'll be funny." And he was like, "You know what? I may actually, And Samuel told me, "Look, man." I asked Samuel, "Look, when you next see him, just mention me about him as well. Say that like I came across yourself through him." And he was like, "You know what? I am." And I just thought Samuel was just saying it, but this is how I know Samuel is a man of his word, and people need to trust him, because I didn't ask for any of that in the interview. He didn't tell me he was doing the interview, and yet he just mentions me out of like there's hundreds of Academy members, and I'm the only one he's mentioned on that podcast, which was like a big shout out, and it adds to my credibility.
Yeah.
So much love to you, Samuel, for that, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, and I always gathered, so when we started doing like check-in calls and stuff, before you became famous, I thought, wow, this person is so sweet. You're always picking up the phone. I could hear you smiling on the other side of it. And so that energy and that heart is genuine, and that is something that you can't muster up, right? It's totally authentic with you, which is great. So that coupled with your hard work and dedication, I mean, you're just going to go so far. So I'm not even surprised at what you've achieved up to this point. What's next for Elijah Ramsey?
Yes. So next, I want to keep giving value to the others. I literally just launched my own YouTube.
What are you doing on your YouTube channel? Is it property related, fitness?
It's more a mix all round. So business, property, and fitness as well. Helping young entrepreneurs like myself and just showcasing my journey. Property challenges, day in the life. My first video is a deal selling challenge where I just went to Manchester. I actually went to prove to a hater that, deal selling is legit, because he wasn't giving the Academy a chance. And if you see it in the video, he is now actually signing up to the Samuel Leeds Academy.
Oh, look at you. You're an ambassador.
Yeah. So I'm just, helping, giving value, helping the Samuel Leeds community while, increasing and building my brand as a property entrepreneur. And I have recently just purchased a short lease extension property.
Amazing.
Which is brilliant. It's in London as well.
Wow, really? Good for you.
Yeah, with the quick figures, I bought it for 197,500.
What is it?
It's a 2-bedroom masonette.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lease of 42 years.
Mm-hmm.
Bought for 197,500. The extension is 30,000. And the GDV is 325.
Oh, wow.
So
that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
You can find pretty good deals, can't you? How did you even get that deal?
To be fair, it was, it was an off-market deal. And this agent, I built a relationship already.
Yeah.
He has seen me on YouTube as well. So definitely social media plays a big role in this.
Mm.
This is why I do advise people to, in this property field or in business, to really post on social media and increase that brand. And because he knew of myself, he sent over this off-market deal, and I was like, yep, I'm going to purchase this hybrid auction.
Amazing. And so when you were spending so much time with Samuel, what are the 3 social media tips that you were able to acquire from Samuel?
Yeah. You know what Samuel does, which I pick up on? When he takes a video, he always has this like 3 takes. So he would take a video, he would do it again, and he would do it for the 3rd time.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So have you incorporated that?
I have been incorporating that.
Yeah.
Like usually I would just do a 1 take, but sometimes you would need to make it very snappy and like quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially with Instagram, like people are just going to see like the first few seconds of the video, and if it's not catchy, they're not going to stay on the video, right? So he has that like 3 number rule. Another thing I've picked up is consistency. Like he consistently posts, whether it's on Instagram, on all platforms, like 3 times a day. And yeah, the energy, you know, I've really I really picked up a lot from his style, and it's really just inspirational and motivational. Like I just keep posting all the time now.
Yeah, you both do have a pretty similar energy level, that's for sure. Well, that's great. And so, you know, when I was watching your Financial Freedom Challenge again, I saw, it's funny that you mentioned hater, because I actually was reading through the comments and there was so much love. And which I thought was just a real testament to the kind of person you are. You know, like nobody seems to want to hate on you when, you know, sometimes hate is easy, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so much love. And actually, I don't even know if you know this, but you have 2.5 times more views on your Financial Freedom Challenge than the 5 episodes of The Eviction put together.
Wow.
Yeah, on your Financial Freedom Challenge. So good for you, Elijah. And so for anybody who wants to reach out to you, what's the best way?
Yes, the best way, reach out to me on Instagram, Laurie, I don't bite. Send me a nice little DM message and we can hopefully do some business together. So Instagram, Elijah Ramsey _property. And yeah, hope to see you all soon, you know.
Amazing.
I would like to explain my story and help inspire you all.
Yeah, and I've seen that you're speaking at some of those Inner Circle events as well.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to come see you at an Inner Circle, they can reach out and you can send them like a guest pass or something like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Perfect. Well, good luck on your mini financial freedom challenges that you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'll be sure to follow your other YouTube channel and check it out. Give you some love, right?
Yeah, oh, thank you.
Great. And so maybe you'll be at some of these crash courses too. Do you ever go to the crash courses?
Yeah, I'll be at. So I was at a few speaking on stage.
Oh, great.
I would ask Samuel again to, you know, if I'd love to share my story.
Yeah.
So I would love to be on the crash courses and share my story with those who wants to join.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that you spent the time to share your story with us today, Elijah.
Yes.
And I'll see you at the dinner tonight.
Yes, dinner tonight.
Excellent.
Thank you for hosting me.
Oh, thank you for being here. Mwah.